One-liners are great, and loads of people enjoy them. They're the most simple, and I mean that in the elegant form of the word. They're the most simple form of humour there is. It's just a setup and then a punchline. Essentially, what you have is creating the assumption, and then you surprise them. That's all it is. It's a setup and then a punchline. Whether or not you like one-liner comics, or or that would be your kind of humor, it doesn't really matter, because what I've found is that creating one-liner jokes is a great way to really get you in the funny zone, whatever that is for you. It's an easy way. It's a process you can go through to create gags quickly and effectively, rather than trying to work out or wait for some kind of observational, penetrating insight. If you're looking, it will take you so much longer if you're trying to come up with a joke relating to an original insight into the differences between men and women, or something similar, observational. But with one-liners, all you need is something that you can play off, and you can create jokes. You don't need to be inspired. You can just use it anytime, any place, anywhere, and just come up with some gags. Now, I often use one-liner gags and looking at stuff and playing off it as a warm-up when I'm doing magic or comedy. It's a great way to really get your mind focused on being funny, get you into the mindset of looking at things and creating jokes. Because when you're doing magic and comedy, you need to be on the lookout. If somebody drops a tray of plates, you need to be able to react to that. You've got to call it as it happens. It's a thing in comedy that, if everybody else is aware of it in the room, you need to call it. Otherwise, they'll wonder whether you saw it. So one-liners are a great way of getting into the zone of that. So I just wanted to have a look at this. I've obviously put the post in the group about how to create one-liners, but I thought we'd do something just as a quick exercise. So let's find some sites with some double meaning words on. I don't quite fancy tackling 100. I'll just give you a few to go through. So in this site, we've got 15. I hope espresso isn't one. Oh, right, that's the site. For a minute there, I thought the word espresso had about 15 meanings. So here we've got a few words. They're good examples. Perfect. We'll do a few of these. So we've got a few words that have got double meanings. Let's get rid of that. And I thought I'd just take you through the process of how I would go about creating jokes based around these things. These aren't going to be fully fledged jokes. They're not going to get me on, TV or my own Netflix special, but it will give you the basic idea of what it's like to create a one-line joke. So just to recap, one-line jokes, it's setup and then punchline. Or you create an assumption about a word and then surprise them with that word. So bark, let's use the word bark. Two meanings for this: the covering of a tree and the sound a dog makes. Hopefully that's not news to any of you. So let's have a look at how we could do. So the first part of the gag needs to create the assumption that we're talking about one of these meanings. So let's take the tree bit. How could you create a short sentence that conveys you're talking about a tree? The beginning of the joke could be, I've just found some bark in the back garden. And then the surprise could be, and then the dog said, "Oh, that's mine." So you create the assumption that you're talking about a piece of a tree. I didn't want to say the word piece. That was what I was really focusing on. So a man walks in from the back garden, just found some bark. The dog pipes up, "Oh, that's mine. Thanks." So that's what we did. That's the surprise. That's how it's revealed. And again, you would tweak this. If you were really doing this as a joke and trying to get the most out of it, you would edit it and create it. But now let's just go through it. So we've got nails. Two parts of the nails, fingernails and hammering nails. Let's go through this again. So let's create the assumption that we're talking about fingernails. I should really stop biting my nails. And then the punchline or the surprise could be, yeah, that's why the doctor says I've got metal poisoning. And suddenly you could go back the other way as well. Let's create the assumption we're talking about hardware. You say, "Oh, I've spent all day hammering in nails." And then the surprise would be, "Yeah, it's not a great way to treat the acrylics, but I've got my methods." These are appalling jokes, but they give you an idea. Jam. So jam, you could jam. Yes, obviously. God, I've just realised The noun jam means a sweet paste made out of fruit. Definitions really suck the fun out of things, don't they? Way to kill that. So let's have a look at jam. Now, jam reminds me of an English joke formula we have where there's an old English joke that said, a lorry load of blah, blah, blah has spilled on the motorway. The police say, blah, blah, blah. And there are a load of jokes for this. So a lorry load of duvets, a lorry load of mattresses has spilled on the motorway. Police are now springing into action. You see how it relates to the other one. Or a lorry load of toilets has spilled over on the motorway. The police have nothing to go on. They're terrible jokes. But the word jam reminded me of that. So let's kind of use that into a formula. This isn't strictly a one-liner, but it is my video. So, So a lorry load of sweet preserves containing fruit and a load of sugar has spilled over on the motorway. Police expect the jam to run for a mile. Deserve to sip their coffee for that one. Yay! So let's go back to a traditional one with this one. So pool, obviously it's a man-made area of water. God, that is good, isn't it? Can you imagine saying that to the kids? Who fancies going to the man-made area of water? Way to suck the life. So let's create the assumption that we're talking about a pool table. My mum bought me a brand new pool table for Christmas. Then let's deliver the surprise. I don't know how good it is. The balls keep sinking. Sinking, not singing. That's punchline to a different gag, probably. Let's have a look at the word mine. So we've got mine, we've got possessive adjective, and also a bomb. So let's use those two. So for show and tell, the teacher said, who brought in this small metallic device that explodes if I put too much pressure on it? And then little Johnny comes up at the back. That's mine. That's a terrible joke. So yeah, so you kind of get the idea. Oh, season. That's a good one. That's one I would never have thought of, actually. So again, I've gone to a cookery class. The instructor says, I've got to season my food. I'm just waiting for autumn to come around, and then we're done. So anyway, that should give you a few ideas. One-liners are a great thing to practice. They're a great comedy exercise to do. Google words with double meanings and go through them. Think of the assumption, think of the surprise, setup, and then punchline. Play off it, create the jokes. Don't worry about it being fully fledged or perfect in every single way. Don't worry about that. Post them up in the group and let me know what you think. I'd love to see what you come up with and just have a play. There is no wrong way of doing this. You have to plow through a load of wrong things to get to the right one. So just have fun with it, enjoy it, and let me know if you have any problems.